In 2014, a small messaging app with fewer than 100 employees and absolutely no advertising was sold for an astonishing $19 billion, leaving the entire tech world in disbelief. But the real story isn't just about the money. It's about the man behind it, a teenage immigrant who once stood in line for food assistance, slept in a cramped apartment, and had no roadmap to success. This is the story of Koum, a man who transformed isolation into connection and built a product that would quietly reshape how billions of people communicate every single day. Koum was born in a tiny village near Kyiv, in what was then part of the Soviet Union, a place where scarcity was a way of life and the future felt uncertain at best. His childhood was marked by hardship, limited resources, and a constant awareness that opportunities were extremely rare, especially for someone from his background. When he was 16 years old, his mother made the difficult decision to move to the United States in search of a better life. But the reality they found was far from easy. They settled into a small, modest apartment, relied on government assistance to survive. And Koum took on humble jobs like cleaning grocery stores just to help support his family, all while trying to adapt to a completely new world. Amid these struggles, Koum discovered something that would completely change the direction of his life: computers and a world of programming. With no formal training and very limited resources, he began teaching himself by reading secondhand books, studying manuals, and spending countless hours experimenting on his own. What started as curiosity quickly turned into passion, and that passion eventually opened doors. He enrolled in college while continuing to learn independently, and not long after, he secured a position at Yahoo, one of the biggest internet companies at the time. It was there that he met Brian Acton, a colleague who shared not only his technical mindset, but also his values, and together, they spent years quietly building experience that would later become the foundation of something extraordinary. After nearly a decade at Yahoo, Koum and Acton decided it was time to move on and explore new opportunities in the rapidly evolving tech industry. They applied to some of the most promising companies of the time, including Facebook and Twitter, hoping to continue their journey at the forefront of innovation. But instead of acceptance, they faced rejection. Both companies turned them down. For many people, this would have been a discouraging end, a signal to reconsider their path. But for Koum and Acton, it became a defining moment. Rather than seeing rejection as failure, they saw it as freedom. The freedom to create something of their own, without constraints, without pressure, and without compromise. In 2009, after purchasing his first iPhone, Koum began to notice the potential of mobile applications and how they could transform everyday communication. He started working on a simple idea, an app that would allow users to update their status so others could see what they were doing. But the concept quickly evolved as messaging features were added. What made WhatsApp different wasn't just its functionality, but its philosophy. It was designed to be fast, simple, and completely free from advertising, at a time when most tech companies were focused on monetization above all else. Koum believed that communication should be private, clean, and uninterrupted, and this belief became the core of WhatsApp's identity. As smartphones spread across the globe, the app's user base exploded, growing from a small project into a global phenomenon used by millions, then hundreds of millions, and eventually billions. By 2014, WhatsApp had become one of the most influential communication platforms in the world, with a user base that rivaled the largest social networks. Its rapid growth and deep engagement caught the attention of Facebook, which was determined to secure its position in the future of messaging. In one of the most shocking deals in tech history, Facebook acquired WhatsApp for $19 billion, a number so large it redefined how startups were valued. For Koum, however, the moment carried a meaning far beyond financial success. In a deeply symbolic gesture, he chose to sign the deal just steps away from the welfare office where he once relied on food assistance as a struggling immigrant, closing a powerful circle in his life and reminding the world how far he had come. Even after joining Facebook, Koum remained fiercely committed to the principles that had guided him from the very beginning, particularly the importance of user privacy and the absence of intrusive advertising. However, as time went on, differences in vision began to emerge between Koum and Facebook's leadership, especially regarding data usage and monetization strategies. These tensions gradually intensified, and eventually, Koum made the difficult decision to leave the company he had helped turn into a global powerhouse. His departure was not just a business move. It was a statement, a clear indication that for him, values mattered more than profit, even when billions of dollars were at stake. Koum's journey is more than just a story of success. It is a powerful reminder that greatness can come from the most unlikely beginnings. Without wealth, without connections, And without a clear path, he relied on persistence, discipline, and an unwavering belief in his vision. From a poor immigrant struggling to survive, to a billionaire who changed the way the world communicates, Koum's story proves that sometimes the simplest ideas, when driven by purpose and integrity, can have the most profound impact. And in a world constantly chasing complexity, his legacy stands as a quiet but powerful testament to the strength of simplicity.